Today I talk about Zweikoin and Zweinote. Zweikoin is an app token, and then Zweinote is the first real estate security tokens in Japan. This is World Wide Web, the first web page in the world, made by Tim Berners-Lee in Ceylon, as you know. And I was luckily the Kyoto University student in physics. I was majoring in quantum optics. So whatever a quantum computer needed to be built on the BSB, I can help. This is Distributed System, the book made by Andrew Tannenbaum. And the right one is Caleb Bellows, Alison Bob. And the middle one is the consensus mechanism. When it comes to the consensus mechanism, timestamp consensus on the time was very difficult. So I was impressed about Bitcoin. Okay, that was the academic thing. This is real applications, trillion-dollar valuations. Amazon, Facebook, Salesforce. They are trillion-dollar valuations, and they made the money. Protocol was academic, but real applications makes money. So now we talk about the applications. Back in 2001, I joined SoftBank, and at that time, SoftBank was $200 billion market cap, and dumped. And I met the CEO of SoftBank around the 2001 summer, and helped him to make a broadband business. The telecom business started from one subscriber line to the present big telecom company. I hacked the telecom business for 1 week, and beat it incumbents, national-owned NTT in Japan. And the backbone we made at the time was bigger than entire US internet traffic. Since I was well-trained in accounting department of the ASIC chip makers in Kyoto, I was very good at management accounting. So I could cut the cost into 1/3 of the competitors, so we could provide the cheapest in the world prices. Cheaper than the Korean broadband. And that way we made the broadband. As one applications, we put the voice on the IP because broadband was fixed rate, 8 meg, and then phone was a 64 kbps. So we successfully launched and made a $500 million profit per year. And smart guys in the US, ex-AT&T CEO, copied the ideas and then created a company called Vonage, connecting the US and Canada for, I remember, the $29 per month or $49 per month. But eventually listed into stock markets was valued about $2 billion. Applications boomed after that. Once the broadband was made, the e-commerce, online trading, online game, video on demand, and auctions, and SNS and Skype, all these apps started to make money. We enjoyed seeing the internet booming. When we started Yahoo Baby back in SoftBank, the market was like that. And then I left for the SBI for finance, which was like a finance branch of the SoftBank. And the people start to be a little lazy in Japan, and in Asia, Alibaba and Tencent became big, and the US these four became dominant. And we found interesting applications in Europe, but later on, that was acquired by the US company. And I found around the 2011 or 13 that someone finally started hack the finance. And I went to the meetup in Tokyo and met the pretty cool hardcore guys like the people gathering in CoinGeek Conference today. So the hacking finance is really big. It's not like a game or EC or whatever. Finance is really big. Real estate is also big. So at that time when I found the Bitcoin, I was in the real estate already. So I started these services, 1 Bitcoin for 1 studio for 1 month. Someone may remember that because I tweeted all over the world. At that time, Bitcoin was about $400. Now, no one's going to pay 1 Bitcoin for 1 room in Tokyo. Okay, I filed the patents like 4 years ago and got the real estate blockchain patent 2 years ago. And I also hosted Tokyo ICO meetup. Our meetup is the biggest in Tokyo. to catch up with what's going on in the securitizations of the token. Oh, how much the WeWork worth? You know, that's one of the buzzwords. And there's a guy in New York claiming like a blockchain co-working, and he's valued like $500 million. But real estate blockchain patents is we own, okay? Along with the several other patents. Now, I announced that Zweinote on Bitcoin SV in Canada. Let's see some of the demo. When we picture the land and upload it into Amazon, and then computer will generate the most profitable apartment design in structures within 20 seconds. The right is the rent roll, and the left is the inside of the AI systems that generates this by CAD system. This is Namazu earthquake assessment program. Right is the earthquake disaster map, and the 13% is the possibility of magnitude 6 plus more earthquake hit Japan, hit that particular locations. And then 3.2 million yen is the probable maximum loss, the potential damages that one earthquake hit to the buildings. And that's our proprietary data. Only we have this software.
The detector.
And that's the second generation's earthquake detectors. We set the sensors used for the rockets and artificial satellite. And then not just the physical data, we also have simulations. Japanese government has the land area shaking data, but we need to reflect the underground simulations into the first floor and then shake the building on top of it. This building is generated from the AutoCalc software, the blue ones that you saw. And since Canada, we are now in talk with the builders for the second generation architect. We announced the property rental system and the management system. We're storing the data into BSB already. And we finished making a crowdfunding site for tokenizations. We finished this and are now in talk with a lot of real estate investing companies. And this is real estate registering into the blockchain. It's patented as well. So with these all apps, we were selected as a top property company by CIO magazines. This is nothing to do with the blockchains, but for the PropTech world, we are selected at top of the world by CIO magazine. This magazine will be circulated 60,000 CIOs and institutional investors this month. So software in the internet industry is very competitive. So we need to be the best of the world to be really meaningful applications. So I think that we are also qualified to claim ourselves like a PropTech solutions on top of the BSB. Okay, this was the wallet for the B2B. Realtor used this wallet. And after the CoinGeek Conference in Canada, we rapidly create this tokenization platform, and then this is the coin on Bitcoin SV. This is the wallet. And that's the front page. When you get in, you get these apps. And then blue, yellow, red apps you can use, not just the wallet. And blue ones, as you saw, like a cool, probably Guru cannot catch up with this, cool three-dimensional building design app, and Namazu. And then this one is the red. This is the new here, announcing the game of Saikoro, meaning dice in Japan, in Japanese. So this dice is backed by the smart contract. We call it smarter contract. We patented it. And then the result will be stored in the Bitcoin SV. So if you had to hit the 1 out of the 6, you get the 6 times coins coming back. If you have a 2, it's like a roulette, 36 times. If you have a 6, all 1, then you have a 46,000 something times. So that will be a game, simple game, but you could play around and then store in the Bitcoin SV. In the future, the AI analyst can judge about how the human will behave by the record of the Bitcoin SV. Okay, so the smart contract patents will be applied for this one for the finance. We tied up with one of the biggest law firms and then to try to offer the solutions for inheritance smart contracts to the regional banks. We have about 7 million elders will most likely need the inheritance contracts in Japan. And we have about $13 trillion assets sitting on the bank. So we will help that, and then we will use the expert knowledge to generate inheritance contracts. That's the software. And then we store that into the blockchain. Okay, so that's the wallet. And since the CoinGeek is very generous to host this conference, so we decided to give away the 500 Zweinote for you for this site. Just to put the email address, we give you 500 Zweinote. This is a stable coin, so our company has to put the real Japanese yen into that bank. So it's basically the gift. Or you could buy more with the Bitcoin SB, or yen, or dollar, or euro. The money that we collect by selling the Zweinote will be stored in the Japanese bank, one of the top 3 big banks. And then part of that will be stored in the exchange for the real estate. And then the ownership data will be stored in our patented blockchain. And the monthly revenue also will be stored in the blockchain so that we can't cheat. The people are fully aware, unlike the Tether, they know exactly where the real estate belongs to. And then they effectively own the buildings, and they can see the record of monthly revenue. Okay, that's one way. And another way is if someone already has the building, we can swap to the coins. For example, Chinese or Taiwanese want to buy Japanese real estate or Canadian real estate. And in that case, we can sell it directly or through the tokenizations. And then that's the Chinese site we prepared. We will announce maybe this week in Chinese languages. Chinese can regularly buy Japanese real estate. Okay, that was a stable token. Zweinote was a stable token, utility token. And then Ethereum pump and dump, you see, Bittrex was not that wrong, but Bittrex was young, so that he couldn't stop the pump and dump. I'm a security analyst. We don't want to make the pumped people unhappy. So we offer a securitization token that will be stable. We will be fully compliant real estate token first in Japan. A lot of big real estate companies try to come up with legal ways to securitize the real estate. But we came up, because I spent 5 years trying to think about it, and then finally we came up and make it first in Japan. We offer the security token. And $13 trillion in family savings, bank account, less than 0.1% interest. Japanese real estate, the income minus the interest rate, free interest rate, which is real estate yield spread, is the highest in the advanced nations, more than 3%. Most attractive still, Tokyo real estate is the most attractive still in the world. Okay, that's the brief scheme. It's like a venture capital scheme, equity holder, GP and LP. And the licensed entity will run the funds, and also LP unit holding rights will be transferable with the license holder as well. So we partner with the guy who had the securitization license, also the agent license. And in this case, all the money will be invested in the real estate, unlike the Zweinote. And then stored in the blockchains, we patent it, and also the monthly rental coming in. Okay, are you good at real estate? That's another question, right? So they are doing this, like before and after. It looks like a good opportunity. Before and after. This is like a good opportunity as well. This is 50 times the $2 million worth of apartments already sold with my partner, which is in real estate. About $100 million already sold. And then they can find these development opportunities, or if they don't find, they can generate their development opportunity like you saw by using those automated apps or risk assessment apps. This is our Zweinote. Me And my friend used to work in the government, in the Ministry of Finance. And the third guy is Chinese origin, but Japanese now. He used to work for Morgan Stanley and Credit Suisse in real estate. The right guy is Mr. Ishii. He was making these apartments. He's my partner. Okay, $13 trillion in Japanese saving. Global real estate is $35 trillion. Look, the yellow, that's the crypto market cap. So if we take the real estate to be securitized, that's a very big market. There's a long way to go. But the one problem is earthquake is here. So I try to crack, because the $13 trillion possible damages to the Japanese real estate. So I try to minimize these damages. So I came up with this earthquake technology. It's not just for natural reasons, right? Okay. So we detect the sensor, detect the shake of the building on the sensor. We already put that apartments. And then using these artificial thing, and then we analyze the earthquake. And we detected June, after the Canadian conference, we detected the data and then already stored in the Bitcoin SB. We will store more and we'll real time. Okay, those are the sensor data, and then those are the simulation that you saw. And then we compare that to create the good simulation model. So we will sell these 3 sensors and 1 gateway for $9,999 for the big construction company in Japan. And then come with the data viewers and analyzing tool. And surprising benefit is that whenever they give us the data, we offer the token, earthquake token, so that they have incentives to put the sensors into the building. So if you buy this and then set that in the earthquake, a lot of earthquake price, then they get the coins. And then professional wants to buy the data, so they're going to buy the coins. Finally, lead to Japan. That's our lead media. I'm also a security analyst, so I can create a report. And then by using those first generation earthquake app, we could identify out of the 4,000 buildings, which building is most tough, and which company has the best buildings, earthquake secure. Because if there's no earthquake, we don't know which one is really doing due diligence. Okay, we announced it 1 month before. And then after 1 month, look, like a number 2 and number 3 outperformed the market index. The blue one is the lead index. The red one is the top 2 and top 3 company. Top 1 company was Molly Hill's building, and they announced the tallest building they were going to make in Tokyo right next day when I make a report. But anyway, the appreciation was $150 million in the real stock market. So gradually, we will influence the real stock market, not just the crypto exchange. Okay, this way, we will diminish the risk and then try to offer the tokenizations fast in the world. And there's a big amount of money and a big amount of real estate. Thank you.